let's talk about the Indicators and Strategies menu and how to use this to the best of your needs to create the most beautiful, perfect chart. Let's dive right into it. Now, your indicators and strategies are up here at the top of the chart. So if you are a trader investor to TradingView and you're new, when you go to TradingView and you open up your first chart, you're going to just see something like this. But the next step is to open up your indicators and strategies. By the way, you can click / on your keyboard to quickly get there. Now we're going to go through each of these items to really make sure you understand what's available to you. Take advantage of this. The first thing you're going to see are your favorites. This is where any indicator or strategy you select will show up. If you click this star, it will be in your favorites menu. My scripts. These are the scripts you've created. If you are a coder or a programmer, well, you can customize your own indicator or strategy by going to the bottom pane here, opening Pine Script Editor, and getting started. You can code your own indicator. And that's the magic of the Indicators and Strategies menu. This is where you can access the indicators you've coded, others have coded, or the built-in tools available to you on TradingView. That takes us to built-ins. Built-ins, these are the tools that the TradingView team has built in specifically for you. They have been researched, studied, and they've been added to the platform just for you. They are hard-coded into the platform. And what's really cool about these built-ins is if you hover your mouse over one and click this question mark, you can instantly read about what they mean and what they do. So, as another example, you can click the star, add to favorites, and if you recall, this is your favorite, so we just click star on accumulation distribution, we go to favorites, and here it is. So these are the built-ins, and when you want to add one of these to your chart, so let's say we want to add Bollinger Bands, all we have to do is click, and now the Bollinger Bands are added to our chart. And then of course we see up here BB and vol for volume. We see the indicators on our chart in this top left area. So here's BB, we click settings, now we can edit them. The length refers to the length of calculation. It's a daily chart, so the length is 20 days. We could change this to our needs. Now it's 50 days, you get the idea. Let's go back to our indicators and strategies menu and dive in a little more. Now we can scroll down and see all of the built-ins. These are available to you. Have some fun, test them out, see which strategy works best for you or what indicator is, fits your style. And that's really the key here. It's just you diving in and learning about these indicators. Here's VWAP, volume weighted average price. We made a video about this indicator. It's on our YouTube page and we've added it here. We can click settings and we can make this extremely visible now by making the line thicker. And actually, let's change this. It's a little too visible. There we go. And let's change it to, there we go. So now this black line is our VWAP line. Let's go back to our indicators and strategies menu and continue onward. The next thing is candlestick patterns. What are candlestick patterns? Well, one of the most popular charts for traders and investors to look at are candlesticks. That's what these are. Now we're going to hide these indicators. By the way, once again, top left, this is where you can see all the indicators on your chart and hide them. Hide, hide, hide. And then this drawing, we're going to actually, let's just, let's delete this drawing for now. And we're just going to dive into the candlestick patterns. So this is a candlestick chart. And you can edit your candlestick chart up here at the top. As you can see, all the options available to you, bars, hollow candles. It's all right here. One click and the chart will instantly adjust to your needs. It's as simple as that. But candles are one of the most popular chart types in the world of trading and investing. They were developed by a Japanese rice trader a long time ago. And what they tell you is the range of the chart as well as the opening and closing price. So first of all, the Wicks here, these Wicks are, let's actually get our arrow drawing tool and this will make it easier. These Wicks are the high range and the low range. So then this wick is the low range there. And this area here is where it opened, and this is where price is at now. So if it's green, it means that price is above where it opened. If it's red, it means price is below where it opened. So as you can see, Bitcoin at this moment, it was as low as this wick. It was as high as this wick, and it opened here. See our mouse here, and it's currently trading below that here. So that's what the candlestick refers to. Quick explainer there. But let's go back to our indicators and strategies. So these candlestick patterns will tell you where any of these candlestick patterns have occurred on the chart. These are old technical analysis tools, classical technical analysis, and they're meant to convey sentiment and trading action in a single candle. You can read about every candlestick pattern by clicking the question mark icon, and it will tell you. For example, the hammer. This is a candlestick pattern called hammer, and it's a bullish pattern. The hammer candlesticks form when a security moves lower after the open, but continues to rally into the close above the intraday low. The candle that you are left with will look like a square attached to a long stick-like figure. This candlestick is called a hammer if it happens to form during a decline and is considered a bullish pattern. So why don't we add this hammer here, bullish? So we click. Now what we're doing is we're adding these hammer patterns to the chart, and what we can do is zoom out to see if we actually see any hammers, and there's only been one clearly defined hammer in Bitcoin's price history, and that's what this shows us here. This was back in 2018 on a daily chart. And as you can see, we hover our mouse over. There's a little sign that tells us what it is. It shows us right there, hammer candlesticks form. So you can see these candlesticks directly on your chart, and you can learn about them. And what we'll do is show you a few more examples, actually. So let's go back to this daily chart, and then let's open up our indicators and strategies, candlestick patterns. What's another candlestick pattern that we could look for that is interesting? Why don't we do a doji, and why don't we also look for an engulfing bullish and an engulfing bearish? Okay, so we've clicked those two, and just like that, we see them on our chart. Here's our dojis. You can see this D for doji. Here's our BE, bearish engulfing. So these are telling us what each candle is, what candle pattern is showing. A doji happens, you can read about it, when the candle is really compressed. The wicks are long, but the actual open and close is nearly, it's nearly the same level, so it forms a doji. You can see another one here, a doji. Bearish engulfing is when the candlestick here is larger and engulfs the previous candlestick. So it's bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. So that's candlestick patterns. Let's continue onward. We open our indicators and strategies menu, and now we go to the public library. The public library is where you can really have some fun. First of all, the public library is an open community of pine coders. These are people who are traders and investors, most likely just like you, who can code, and they are creating their own custom indicators. So as you can see, built-ins, these are the built-in indicators. These are the tools our team has added to the platform specifically for you. The public library is the community on TradingView who are coding all of these indicators themselves. They are backtesting, studying, taking a unique approach to markets, creating things that you cannot find anywhere else on the web. Why don't we go through a few? So as you can see, when we click, we see Squeeze Momentum Indicator by Lazy Bear. We see the author Lazy Bear. How many likes? 70,000 likes. Then, of course, there's this here, source code. Watch what happens when we click this. It opens up the source code, author Lazy Bear. And it shows, you can follow him here. Here's his TradingView profile and all of his indicators. And this is the code behind his indicator, and he's made this himself. And why don't we now actually add some to the chart? So we go to public library, and how about we do an interesting one? How about this CM slingshot system? So we click it, and how cool is this? Have you ever seen an indicator like this? It's probably not likely. That's because this was coded by Chris Moody. We're actually going to remove these candlesticks. We've already gone through that, so let's keep deleting these. Now you see CM slingshot system, these green bands here are Chris Moody's indicator. Look at the color of the candles. This is what he coded. And this settings wheel, you open this and you can start to see what he's giving you the ability to customize. So you have all these different things you can toggle on and off, customize the colors. This is a slow moving average. Inputs, he even made some custom inputs. So show aggressive entry, show conservative entry. You can uncheck and check all of these to fit your needs. And of course, what's really important about this is if you open your indicators and strategies menu and then you find the CM Slingshot system, what's really important is right here. It says read more. So we click this and here's Chris Moody. So we get to meet Chris Moody. We see the title, the date it was published. He shows us some examples. And then we scroll down. We should actually click like on this as well. And we can now read about what the Slingshot system is. So he writes about what he is, what he created here. And then here's his code. And if you keep scrolling down, what's really cool is you'll see some related ideas. So you might see some other things from Chris that just kind of show you what he's working on and who he is. Additionally, what's really important is you'll see comments from all the users here who want to get involved and ask him questions. So that's the public library. And, one really helpful thing about the public library is this. Say you are looking for something specifically. For example, you like moving averages. So you can use the search box here to type in moving average. Okay. So now you're going to see the built-in moving averages. Here they are. These are built-in moving averages that our team has put into the platform for you. There's typical moving averages, exponential moving averages, and then more complex moving averages, which date back, to the early days of technical analysis. For example, this whole moving average. Let's see, we click this, and here's the whole moving average, and you can learn about the whole moving average just by clicking that. But this is where it gets really important. Public library. So scroll down and enter the public library to find not just, the classical or built-in moving averages, but what the community has coded. This is where you might be able to find an edge, something educational, helpful. You may be able to meet another trader. You may learn about coding. You may learn about how the indicators are coded themselves. It's all right here in the public library. You can scroll down and find something that's just so unique. This one says Madrid moving average ribbon. We can, of course, click this read more to learn more about it. So here we are. We see how it looks. We can read what he's coded here and what he's created. We can even look into his source code by scrolling down. And of course, here are the comments. So what we're going to do now is add this to our chart. Let's just click and let's favorite it. So we favorite it as well. And let's just make sure Madrid moving average is now in our favorites. And now we have this Madrid moving average on our chart. So the public library can be really effective when used like that. Another example is, let's say you type in volatility because you want to look for volatility. Well, there's my scripts. So these are the ones that we've coded. So we have actually coded these ourselves. There's built-ins, which are a part of the platform, built-ins, and then keep scrolling down. And this is where the research, the excitement really begins. Here are all of the volatility indicators and strategies that are available to you, coded by other traders and investors from around the world. They could be anywhere. If you have an internet connection and you know how to code, you can create your own indicator and strategy. And it's all right here. And you can search for these keywords to find ones that you're looking for specifically. And how about as an example? Well, this is actually now what we see here is really good. Do you see these up and down arrows or these down up arrows? So it shows the red down and then the green up. This means it's a strategy. So if we click this, we've now added this strategy to our chart. So the strategy is actually something that someone coded to place real trades and to back test those trades. And so this is a not complex way, but this is where you really begin to test and back test strategies and see the performance on the chart. So let's go back to that actually. And by the way, this is the strategy tester. When you open up a strategy, you'll see this strategy tester, but we want to walk through that one more time because it's a little complicated. So let's make sure we really explain this well. So we've shown you favorites. Remember, just click a star to add it to your favorites, like this. Advanced decline, click star. And here's advanced decline. We've shown you my scripts. These are the ones you've coded. And how do you do that? Go down to Pine Editor, click open, begin coding. We've shown you built-ins. These are all of the built-in indicators available to you as a TradingView member. They are built into the platform. You can read more about them here. We've shown you candlestick patterns. This is how you analyze specific candlestick patterns and see them on the chart, right? This is a candlestick pattern that will just instantly appear on the chart and show you here's every doji in this asset's history. And now we got to the public library, which is a really exciting conversation. And what we want to really focus on, though, here are these red down arrow, green up arrow, which means strategy. If you don't see these arrows, it means it's an indicator for you to study price action, maybe base some trades off of, maybe learn more about how the indicators are coded, or just try to get an edge on markets with something slightly different. But this little red down arrow and green up arrow means it is a strategy. So we click, and now we open up the strategy tester. There's no data on this particular strategy, so why don't we open up one? And by the way, that will happen from time to time, and that is because maybe the strategy is not complete or we're not looking at a far enough time frame. So let's do this. Let's actually find one. This looks good. Whole moving average swing trader. See the arrows? We click it. And now we see this strategy. Let's zoom out in time, maybe to give it, we can find a better one. So what we're doing now actually is really important as well to keep in mind. When you are looking for a strategy, it can sometimes take time to find one that is really easy to see on the chart and that fits your style. So this strategy, bar up down strategy, well, it looks interesting, but it is somewhat, difficult to really see. So for the purpose of this video, let's really make sure that we find one, and I think we had one here. Here it is. This volatility system by Wilder. Luke F is the author. We click, and here's Luke. And let's go back to this and let's add it to the chart. Perfect. So now we can see this volatility system. This one this one is easy to see in the sense you can kind of see it says enter short. You see the red dots, which means stay short. Enter long. You see the green means enter long. Enter short. You see the red. Long. You see the green. So the visualization of this one is it's easy to see and understand. And for every indicator, it's going to take time to understand them. And when we went through this indicator menu, going through various strategies, you probably noticed some, was a little more difficult for us to fully grasp. Others, like this one, we grasp right away. And that's kind of the art of going through the public library. You have to do the research yourself. And that's not to say the other strategies we showed were not we're inferior by any means. It's just for the sake of this video and for what we're looking for, we just need to find something that shows the strategy very clearly on the chart so that you as a viewer can see what we're talking about. Now we've added this strategy to the chart and we see the strategy tester. And what this is telling us how the strategy has actually performed over time. We can see the performance of this strategy. We can see its drawdown, average trade. We see also almost its gain and loss curve over here. And we can get a feel for if this strategy is profitable or if it's something we want to avoid or try ourselves. So you see net profit, gross loss, max drawdown. If you click list of trades, you can see where all the trades would enter and exit. And you can see the full backtest history, which is, this is where things get really interesting. So 2011, That's how many trades we're backtesting here. So if you create your own strategy, you can backtest all of your trading strategies or styles, see them directly on the chart, and just see, would your strategy really work over the long haul? Is it worth pursuing right now? These are questions you can answer and dive into by using the strategy tester, but more importantly, going to the public library and finding some strategies that are interesting to you. And like we said, look for these down red arrow, up green arrows for strategies. Everything else is an indicator, and indicators can help you identify trading opportunities, study price action, learn more about the indicators, basic technical analysis. That's all right here in the public library. Now we're going to wrap up really quickly because we are starting to we want to make sure we get everything across in a time limit that doesn't take up too much of your day. So let's go to volume profiles. We've made several videos about volume profiles. Please go onto our YouTube profile and watch them. Fixed range, session volume HD, visible range. These are very powerful tools that essentially show volume on the right side of the chart, and they're telling you how much trading volume occurred at each price. Remember, typical volume, so here's volume, you'll see it at the bottom of the chart. This is how much trading volume occurred on a specific day. See our mouse just moving day by day by day. These volume bars tell you how much trading occurred at a specific price. This is a very dynamic way of analyzing price action, studying charts, and a lot of charting platforms actually don't offer this, or they may, not really have as many. If you go to volume profiles, not have as many options. And these are 4 built-in volume profiles specifically for paying members. Session volume HD is a personal favorite because what this shows, and we're starting to get a little noisy, so we'll hide some indicators here. What this shows is it shows the session volume, which means how much trading volume occurred on a specific day of trading. So this blue highlight means this is one session today, and all these bars show you the trading volume. This blue highlight means it's yesterday's trading session. See the blue highlight? And here's all the trading volume by price. So you can see each trading session just as we go back in time. Now that is volume profiles. Remember, go to our profile and go ahead and watch how to use each of these 4. Our team is also always finding new volume profiles for members, so you can expect this list to grow specifically for paying members. Invite-only scripts. This is where people who code their own scripts but only want to invite a few people to them. Maybe they don't want their alpha to get out. They don't want their code to be seen. It's only for members. That's where you can get invited to use private scripts. And I think that is the perfect video. We're going to wrap up there. Please leave any questions or comments underneath this video. Our team will answer them as soon as possible. Remember, indicators and strategies up here, or press / and you can dive right in. Thank you for watching.